Okay, can't hear me again.
Recording in progress.
Okay, trying again.
My phone thought I was driving. It made me turn it off. Okay, hoping that works. Yes, so far so good?
Yes.
Okay, sorry guys, that is weird. Not how I wanted to start the meeting. Hi, everybody. I'm gonna put the phone off to the side, which might be distracting, and you'll see me on the big one. Nice to meet you all. I wanted to start by introducing ourselves. We have, let's see, how many do we have here? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yay, that's pretty good. There's 16 of us going all together. And 4 of you I've never met. And 1 of you I've known 40 years. And 1 of you I've known 36 years. So that's kind of fun. Yeah. I've got 3 of you are lawyers and 3 of you are teachers.
Nice.
So yeah, we run the gamut over 15 years, which I think is nice. All kind of right in the same sort of age range, really. And I thought maybe everyone could just say how they heard about the trip and maybe just introduce themselves. You're welcome to say whatever you want. If you have kids, if you're married, whatever you would like. And then I thought I would run through some general tips about the trip. And then I thought I would run through some itinerary notes about the trip. So I don't know, does the screen look the same for everybody? Like, is Susan in the top left corner for everybody?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will call your name and you will unmute yourself and say hi. Susan, you're the first one on my screen.
Me, Susan.
Yes, we have a Susan and a Susie.
Oh, okay.
And we have a Kathleen and a Katie. Is Katie on here?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, hi. Okay, great. So yeah, nobody has the exact same name. So Susan, how'd you hear about the trip? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I heard about the trip from you, Kelly. So Kelly and I know each other because our kids went to school together and have done theater together. And we've traveled together.
Yeah.
And I love to travel, and Kelly was starting this cool Wanderlust Women thing, and I was like, sign me up. I don't care where we're going. I'll go to wherever. And then it turned out we were going to Iceland, which is someplace I've always desperately wanted to go to, and I've missed out on multiple trips there that I've had the opportunity to go and haven't made it. And so I'm super psyched to be going.
Great. And if you want to say too, like why you want to go on the trip or what you're looking forward to about Iceland, let me know that.
I'm looking forward to all the things,
All of the
which is code for I really haven't researched anything.
Yeah.
But I probably will before I go at some point. I don't know, maybe. I'm just excited to go.
Yeah. Katie, we had one person drop out and Katie just joined in the last week. And I was like, okay, what of the optional items do you want to do? And she's like, all of the things. I want all of the things.
By the way, I don't know if anybody's like an avid reader or anything, but the New York Times books section, their Instagram, they have a thing where they're like, what to read when you go to, and Iceland is one of the things. So if you scroll back in their Instagram, they do have Iceland as one of them. Actually, I'll put it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've looked into it, and all of the books that come up are really dark and dismal because apparently that's what writers write about. But I did find one that looks interesting called Miss Iceland. It's like about someone, because I wanted like a novel that was not heavy, but took place in Iceland. I haven't started it yet, but I thought that one looked interesting.
Yeah, and I actually have another book kind of about the history of Iceland. I have the audiobook of it, and I'll drop that in there as well.
Cool. Okay, Eva, you're next for me.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I was called by my friend Susie, and she said, "Hey, how do you feel about Iceland?" And I said, "I don't know. How should I feel about Iceland?" But she said, "Do you want to go?" And I thought about it and thought, yeah, you know what? It wasn't on my radar screen, but I thought it sounded interesting, and I thought I'd take the opportunity and check it out.
Cool. And where do you live, Eva?
I live in Petaluma.
Okay. We actually have a couple people from Southern California joining us.
So I'm from north of San Francisco.
Oh, north. Sorry, Petaluma. In my mind, I was thinking Pasadena for some reason.
No.
I'm
I'm
not
probably a
geography,
little
I'm a
bit
traveler.
further north than a lot of you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of us are peninsula. All right. And Katie?
There. Yeah, I'm Katie. I live in San Carlos. I'm divorced with 3 kids, and my kids, that's how I met Kelly, through our kids going to school together. And I'm super excited to see the Northern Lights and just experience the culture in Iceland. It sounds cool to stand on a glacier before they all melt.
So I've been following some things on, well, various places, Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And well, first of all, I like to make sure everybody knows we are not guaranteed to see the Northern Lights. It depends if there's cloud cover, it depends if they make a show, whatever. But in the last week, they've been really visible, even from Reykjavik without like leaving. So fingers crossed. But there's been some really awesome pictures lately. So we'll see. I chose this time of year because it's a good time. You know, it's when the Northern Lights make a show, but it's not the dead of winter yet. So kind of hoping we're in the right time period. Okay, so next for me is Elaine.
Hi, I'm Elaine, and I'm from Clovis, and I know Donna well, and so I'm going to say Donna got me into this. So she has known Kelly for quite some time, and I'm divorced, recently divorced. It was just final in June, and I just kind of wanted something to do. I like traveling. I'm a teacher, so I had to kind of get permission to get this time of year off, and my principal was great about it and said yes. I have 2 grown kids and a little miniature schnauzer that's running around my feet right now trying to get some attention here, but I'm ignoring her the best I can. So I'm just looking forward to a little bit of adventure, a little bit of something new, something different from the ordinary. And I'm looking forward to having some fun and hanging out with Donna. And she's kept me going through the last few years. So just looking forward to having some fun.
Great. And Miriam, you're next for me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miriam. I live over in Pleasanton. I found out from the group through my friend Addie, who I don't think she's on right now.
No, she's on a plane to New York right now.
Oh, just doing other stuff. She said, "Hey, you want to go see the Northern Lights?" And I'm like, okay. So hopefully we go get to see them. And I'm very excited about that potential book to read, like about Iceland too, as well. And I work at a local school district in the accounting department. And I have 2 kids. They're grown and flown. One's in Texas, one's in the Navy in Virginia, and a 5-month-old kitten. And he's such a toddler. Don't miss the toddler stage. My goodness. Anyway, he's very stinking cute, so it makes it worth it. But yeah, his name is Bob.
Bob the kitten.
Bob the
Susie Lico, you're next for me.
Hi. Well, Kelly and I go way back, San Carlos Children's Theater. I live in San Carlos. Our kids and Kelly and I have both been in shows with San Carlos Children's Theater. So
3 of us on this Zoom have been in a show together. And then another 2 of us separately have been in a show together.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. So, and I also use Kelly's, the family travel, for a lot of our vacations as well. So Kelly and I go way back, and I was kind of been in the realm of listening to her try to put together this new Wanderlust program. So yes, I was very excited. when I heard Iceland was the first trip. So so I gathered Eva up, my friend, and went, yes, we got to do this. And I'm really excited actually about just the culture of it, but also the fact that the tour is taking us throughout the entire country. I think that's fantastic. So
Yeah, I had a choice between two, and one centered a little more on just chasing the Northern Lights, and the other was more, I thought we can't go all the way to Iceland and not see the whole thing. So I chose the bigger one.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Barbara, you're next for me.
Hi. I think I met Kelly maybe 10 years ago at a book club. And it's disbanded since then, but I've been following you on Facebook. And I've got 2 grown kids. I am a widow. I'm bored. I want to travel, but I don't want to deal with the logistics of it all. So this is perfect. Iceland wasn't on my bucket list, but I kept seeing the little, oh, we're filling up. And then, oh, there's only one single spot left. So I thought that was an omen, and I just pushed the button. I'm like, okay, I'm going. And I'm excited now. I've been doing a little research, and now I'm ready to go tomorrow. So I'm really excited to go. So
I was excited to see you signed up, Barbara. That was cool.
thanks.
Lori,
I'm from San Carlos. Of course.
And you know, we actually met almost 20 years ago. It took me a while to remember because you did Creative Memories. Remember that?
Oh yeah, a lifetime ago. I did.
Yeah, and like 10 years went by, and then we ended up in the same.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Lorraine, you are next.
Oh, great. This is so fun to hear everyone's stories. Yeah, so Kelly booked many trips for my family when my 2 girls were younger. They're now in college and high school, and we always used to read Kelly's annual newsletters and get envious of how many places she could fit in a single year. So when Kelly said she was launching this, I turned to my husband and went, this seems to be a yes. Like, I just need to do it. I'm a cold weather person. I love skiing and snowshoeing. So Iceland really fit the bill. I'm in Redwood City, and I work at Khan Academy, which is an ed tech company, and I have the time off, and I'm really going to take it. So I'm so happy to be with you all.
Great. And Regina, you're next. I have to say something funny for Regina and Susie. Last night I went to see Gypsy at Hill Barn, and Elena Ron was there, and Katie Mannion was there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that was 3 of us that were in Sound of Music, whatever.
Wow.
12 years ago, 14 years ago. And then the weekend before, I ran into both Paige and hey, why am I blanking? The ones that had been Liesel and Sound of Music. So anyway, it's just funny how I keep running into everybody from that show that was so long ago. So your turn, Regina.
All right. Well, that's the intro. That's how I met Kelly and Susie. I've been in, I have a passion for theater, not always center stage, but enjoying it as well. But I was watching Kelly train for Machu Picchu, and then I swear to God, she came back and she was on a road trip. That's what it seemed like to me.
No, that was the way.
Oh, that was
exactly what it was.
And I really kind of thought, well, that would be cool if she had a women's group going on and doing something. And then times passed and you created it. And it was really easy for me to say, yes. I did a virtual walking about through Conquer events around Iceland. So I was getting postcards all about Iceland, and I couldn't see myself ever coordinating or having the knowledge to put a trip together myself. So when I saw this, I thought, this is definitely something I want to do.
That's cool. I know someone that did that kind of virtual walkthrough thing on the Camino de Santiago, and now they're on it and they're doing the whole thing.
Yeah, I walked the Camino, and I walked the Ring Road, the Great Wall of China. So cool. I've done a couple of them, so it's fun.
It's a virtual walking thing. She'll have to tell us more about it. But anyway, Lila, you are next.
Wow, I have known you forever, Kelly.
We met when we were 14, and I auditioned for my first show, which was a long time ago.
Exactly. And yeah, same thing. Been, following you forever, Kels, and was very excited about this new business. I'm looking forward to making some new friends and seeing some new places, and big travel fan. My friend Kathleen is coming too. And after we graduated from law school, after the bar exam, we traveled around the world together. So this is kind of a reunion trip for us many, 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 many years later. So yeah, just super excited. Separated for a long time, like 7 years with 2 kids, and I live down in Los Angeles. I think that's about it. Just excited for it all. Same thing. Do all the things.
Great. Yep, you are signed up for all of the things.
Exactly. All the things.
And Donna, you are next, not last but least.
Hi. I've known Kelly since college. We were in the sorority together and lived in the house at the same time. So that was kind of fun. And let's see, I'm single. I'm actually divorced, and I have 2 grown sons, 27 and 25. And Elaine said, well, I've been watching Kelly do all these things. She planned a Hawaii trip for my sister and I that was so fun. And so I was watching, but I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I can't go. And then Elaine said, do you want to go? And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to go, but I didn't think I could. So, and now I'm going, and I am the only thing, I'm not a cold weather person. So that's all of my questions are around that. Like, how many layers? What are we talking about? That's what I need to know.
Okay. All right. Well, great. I like that I have people here from so many different walks of life and people I don't know. And honestly, the reason I started it was because I always got comments about, I wish I could travel like that. And you can. I think sometimes I just wanted a vehicle where all you had to do was sign up and go. I think everybody here is at a different, we're not all entirely different stage of lives, but some are married, some aren't. A lot of people thought I was putting together a single woman travel group, and I'm like, no, that's not it at all. It's just women. I think women don't give themselves permission to do this kind of thing. I don't seem to have that problem, but other women seem to. So anyway, that was kind of my idea. Just make it easy, sign up and go. So thanks for introducing yourself. For the few that don't know me, I've had my travel agency 25 years now, actually. And I have 2 sons. One is in DC, works in a nonprofit, and the other is a junior in college and is a theater and dance major. All 3 of us have been big community theater and performing for many years. And I am also divorced and do a lot of travel and do some solo travel. So yeah, I'm excited. I have not been to Iceland, and I will probably primarily plan the trips to places that I want to. Well, it's a combination of feedback of where people want to go and where I want to go. Actually, I think next year is going to be Greece and Ireland, and I have been to both, but Ireland's been a long time. So, okay, so I'm going to start with some general tips. I think a few of you are still missing on the WhatsApp. So if you haven't already, please get on, Regina, okay, get on WhatsApp, because that's how I'll communicate with you on the trip. Or if you have a question, you can communicate with me. And then I'm going to start just by saying cash. The best way I have found to get it, you can ask your bank in advance, but it seems to be getting harder to do that, and they need a lot of time. So I would say the easiest way to do it is to just get either at the airport when you're leaving, or when you arrive, go to the ATM in the airport. That's usually what I do. To keep in mind, a lot of places take credit cards, and you want to put some money aside for tips at the end. And I think so that you don't find yourself at the end needing to find an ATM or something, it would kind of be best to take that out at the beginning, put it aside, and then know you've got it. Probably I will collect it all for you and give it to them at the end. The recommended amount is $30 to $40 for the guide. And they didn't mention the driver, but I've typically seen that be $10 to $20. And I worked it out for you. I can send it to you. But basically, if you take out 7,000 Icelandic kronur in the beginning and put it aside, you'll be covered. So try to do that, because we don't want to find it, we're not going to see the bus driver again and everyone forgot to save enough cash or something like that. It'll just be easier.
Kelly?
Yes.
Kelly, how much does that convert to US dollars with your krona?
you know, I'll have to look it up. I looked it up and it was confusing. Like, it wasn't an easy amount, which
Okay, it's not like pull out 100 and
it's
convert
not
it.
10 to 1. So that's why I just kind of worked it out for you. Like it works out to about $35, $36 for 5,000 Icelandic dollars. That would be for the guide. And then it worked out, I wrote down 1,500 to 2,000 for the driver. So I think that worked out to something like $10, $12. I can look up what the conversion rate is, but
If I just had if you pulled out $200, that would convert to 7,000 krona. That's all I'm looking for.
yeah,
Simple.
I can do it on my phone. But what I suggest, and I had put that in the email, is to get a currency converter, because it's a lot easier, because it wasn't like a very easy amount to convert. I mean, I don't even remember what it was, but it was something like, like 1,250 or something stupid. So I use Oanda, OANDA. It's an app you can download. And then anytime you're wondering what something costs, you just put in what it is in Icelandic dollars and it tells you in US dollars.
Is it a cash heavy society?
Pardon me?
Is it like a cash heavy society or not?
No, I read that credit cards are pretty widely accepted.
Okay.
I think we'll need tips. We need tips in cash, so that's why I'm pointing that out. But otherwise, I think restaurants and grocery stores, things like that, should be pretty easy to use credit cards. Which is the other thing I wanted to say is, I'm saying budget about $75 a day for food. It could be more, it could be less. I've heard alcohol is very expensive and food is very expensive there. So that's just something to know.
I'm sorry, you're super choppy. You're really hard to understand.
Not for
That's
me.
better. Okay.
Might be your internet, Miriam.
It's only me on the internet on my place. Okay.
You seem good here.
Okay. So our breakfasts are always included. If you signed up, that one lunch at Blue Lagoon is included. But otherwise, G Adventure, I've traveled with G Adventures. I think this is my 6th time now. Makes it very easy. They point you in the right direction. They try to stay more like local and casual. And I know that first hotel we're at in Reykjavik has a grocery store next to it and what they called like a food court. It also had a buffet from 6 to 8. So I don't think it'll be difficult there, to get food. But yeah, just budget. And I would have some cash for that in case it's, I have not been. I don't know if we're in a national park and they've got a place you walk up to order a hot dog if you might need cash. But I do know credit cards are pretty widely accepted. Let's see, you will need a currency, not a currency converter, a power converter, which I sent you all. I like to suggest you also bring a strip cord, because then you can put the strip cord in the power converter and now you've got more than one plug for your phone, for, your watch, whatever. And on the note of the credit cards and the ATMs, call your bank with whatever cards you're bringing and just clear that first, so you don't get there and find out there's a problem. That happens sometimes. And only bring what you're going to use, like maybe one debit card, one credit card. Not that that's going to happen, but if something happens, when I travel, I don't bring my wallet with my grocery card and my library card, because why risk all of that? So just pare it down and bring what you need. On the note of the power, with the converter and the strip, they will have hair dryers in the hotels. I mentioned, but your curling irons or straighteners won't work even with the power converter, because the currency is not the right, unless it's dual voltage. So you either need to get a dual voltage curler or straightener, or just don't deal with it. But I have a European one. I just bring when I'm traveling, so I don't have to deal with it. Dress. So I know Donna's concerned about that. So a lot of people, I just talked to a client actually that just got back from Iceland, and at times it was cold, but she said she didn't use everything she brought. I think it's what I read the most is that it can change quickly and can be very variant. I think layers is really the key, because when we're on the bus and the heat's on, you'll probably be fine. You get off and it's cold, you're going to need a hat and a jacket and another layer. I think wool socks are really important. I actually just got a new pair of sort of like non-skid boot kind of things. And I've been wearing them the last 2 days with my wool socks just to kind of break that in. Basically it's going to be casual and waterproof, warm, and casual. That's what you want to think of. I've also been reading, like I just read on something someone said, it said it's going to rain every day we're there. And everybody replied, I'm here now. It's rained once, or it rained for an hour, or sometimes it rains, but then it clears up. I can't guarantee anything, but I would expect at some point we'll be wet and we're going to go out anyway. And I also hear, at the waterfall, you get wet. So I would just prepare for that. I sent everybody a rain poncho. We can dry them out every night in the rooms and wear them again. When I was in Machu Picchu, that was the biggest mistake I made, is that my rain jacket was water repellent and not waterproof. Oh crap, my son is supposed to have called me all week and he's calling me now. Hopefully it'll just go away. Never fails. So anyway, so waterproof rain jacket is good, or those cheap ponchos. Everybody else had cheap ponchos in Machu Picchu. You can put it over your whole backpack, down jacket, everything over your head. And I was like, why didn't I bring a cheap poncho? So that's why I sent everybody one of those. They were pretty handy. I ended up using a garbage bag. Oh, go away, son. He's calling me again. That's kind of all I've got on that, but any questions on that? Try to bring more than one pair of shoes, especially if you're like wearing athletic shoes and get wet, then having a second pair to change into is good.
Would you say wearing a pair of tennis shoes would be okay for just your second pair of casual, comfortable walking shoes?
I think so, especially if they're good, like athletic shoes, not like Ked type of things. But yeah, I'm going to bring these new boots I got, and then probably like my, like a pair of athletic shoes. So, and the one time when we really need the specialty footwear, if it's too heavy to bring or you don't have it, they said we can rent it. The Glacier Hike said we can rent the ankle boots. So yeah. Okay, so luggage. Everybody, at least on the United flights, you do get a checked bag up to 50 pounds. I'm typically a carry-on person, but I think we're all going to end up with checked bags on this trip. We've got too much big, heavy, warm, cold weather stuff. So, just one tip I wanted to say on that is don't pack. I mean, this is just common sense, but don't pack your medications and stuff. I haven't had a lot of trouble with my clients this summer, but there have been, airports are just like everything else, understaffed, and there have been luggage problems. So just, if anything's really important, keep it in your carry-on. And I'd throw your swimsuit in your carry-on, because the first day is Blue Lagoon. If the luggage is delayed, at least that doesn't keep you from Blue Lagoon. Although I think they might rent them. And let's see, so luggage, passport. So the only entry requirement for Iceland right now is the passport, not testing. It actually isn't required to be vaccinated, except our trip is, because that's G Adventure's choice, which is fine. I know everybody is. As I mentioned, I would just like to ask everybody to take a test and message me that you're clear, because who knows, we don't want to get on that plane or that bus and get there and all of a sudden start feeling sick. So, so that'll just give us all peace of mind. We're going to be in this minibus together for a week, and you'd hate to miss the trip, of course, too. Plus, if we know before you start the whole thing, it's a lot easier, unfortunate, but we'll file insurance, you'll get your money back, and you'll stay home. So you don't want that to happen when you're on the trip and you're stuck and got to quarantine.
I got my booster today, by the way, this morning, the new one.
Oh, did you? I haven't been able to sign up for one.
I signed up like the day that they announced that it was happening. So
Okay.
I actually got a Moderna one this morning. By the way, my hack is to do it at the hospital's pharmacy, because people always go to CVS and stuff. And so CVS canceled my appointment, but the hospital pharmacy, they have them. People don't think to go there. That's my hack. Number one. Number two, I feel totally fine. Like, I went to see National Theater Live's production of Straight Line Crazy, which is coming to New York. I've been doing stuff all day long. I feel totally fine. My arm isn't even like as sore as it usually has been. So just for anybody.
Did you have Pfizer before?
I've had Moderna every time.
Okay. And then
We're
we
gonna run out in 10 minutes. So if we do, everybody just jump on that second link that I sent. Okay, so moving on. I like to take a picture of my passport and have it on my phone. If God forbid you lose it, it makes things a little easier. Phones. I can't speak for how much cellular coverage there's going to be when we're out and about, but you've got two choices. You can pay for cellular. I mentioned for me on AT&T, it's $10 a day. I do that, but if you don't want to do it, put your phone on airplane mode, and the inns should all have Wi-Fi, and you can just use the Wi-Fi when it's available. A lot of times cafes and stuff do too.
I had a fun experience. If you have a iPhone 11 or higher, there's an embedded SIM card on your phones. And this summer when I was traveling, I used Airalo, and I went online, got a QR code, and I was able to use the European phone. So I was on Orange, and I was all over. I was in Spain and Switzerland. And so wherever I went, I had a couple hiccups, but it was pretty good. Wherever I went, it picked up the local internet service.
Oh,
and
it's
it's
good.
an
Okay. There's different ways to do it, but I just like to make sure people think about if they don't want to pay for it, turn it off. Also, that we're going to be probably taking a lot of pictures on our phones. We're going to be on the bus a lot, on some long drives, and you're going to end up using your phone for whatever. So I really recommend you all get a portable charger. On the packing list, I put a suggestion, or you could order one from Amazon, but it just comes with a there's cordless and ones with the cord, but you can plug that in at night when you're charging everything else, and then the next day, if your phone battery's dying, you can charge it on the bus. So I think it's really handy for traveling. Okay, so I'm going to move on. I'll ask if there's anything about the general travel stuff, but then I'm going to move on into some itinerary stuff if we're good on that.
Kelly, I wanted to bring walking sticks.
I
Yeah,
I was going to say, if they fit in your luggage, go for it.
Yeah, but they're not collapsible. So
they're not?
Yeah.
I don't know how you get them on the plane. You might have to call the airline and ask, because I haven't experienced that. I rented them when I was in Peru. So just check on that. But having them on the bus or whatever shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so moving on to the itinerary. Couple reminders. I like to remind everybody, we talked about this in our first introductory meeting, that this is I would not call this a budget trip, but I would not call this a luxury trip. Like, just keep in mind, it was sort of a good price point. G Adventures travel style is pretty casual. I think the first hotel we're staying at is kind of a budget hotel. So just everybody keep an open mind about that, where it was a very good price point, but it's not a fancy trip. And I've always been happy with G Adventures. Like I said, I've traveled with them 5 times, but it's just good to have that mindset of what to expect. I'm going to meet you all in New York, and then from me on the flights to and from Newark to Iceland. So just know when you get to San Francisco or wherever you're starting, that part's on your own. I'll be tracking the flight in case there's any problems. I wanted to talk about that first day, because I know it's a challenging full day, and I want to bring it up on my computer. You kind of need to know yourself and know your limits, I think, or you may end up really exhausted. We, arrive on a red eye, and we'll get to the hotel about 11, and there's my son texting me. And I don't know if we're going to be able to get our rooms or not. I called the hotel. If they're available, they'll let us in. If they're not, they are full. The day before I looked, they're not, but the day we check in, they are. So no guarantees. Everybody just needs to be prepared. We could get there, drop our bags. You can rest in the lobby. We can go out and see Reykjavik, but I can't guarantee our rooms are ready. If they are, you might choose to, okay, you've just been on a red eye, go sleep until we're going out, that night to see the Northern Lights. If you want to go explore Reykjavik, that's kind of our opportunity, is that afternoon. So that's why, if we can't get our rooms and people want to go, I figure we'll just go right then. If we can get our rooms, want to take a few hours to freshen up, meet around 2. I kind of looked up where to go, and we can either walk or take taxis. There's a couple of cool streets that have things. I thought the ice bar would be fun. Probably get dinner and or stop at the grocery store, kind of on our way back to get snacks and drinks and things. So that's kind of my thinking on that first day. But if you're someone who gets really tired and a red eye flight is really tiring, we're going up at night see Northern Lights. So my thinking on that, even though it's the first day and we're going to be tired, is because they'll take you out the second night for free if we don't see them, or if they even cancel it. If they know that you're not, it's too cloudy or rainy and you're not going to see them, they'll just tell us, so we're not wasting our time and we can try again the second night. So that's why I did it that way. But that first day we're going to be tired. The next day I did try to make sure that we weren't getting up too early for Blue Lagoon. We don't leave until 10, and they'll pick us up at the well, we're meeting a transfer that picks us up at the hotel, takes us to Blue Lagoon. Our entry time, I think, is 11. We'll have time to give us a face mask. And you might see online people talk about that it's group showers, but I've also read that there are individual showers. So just know, I've also had a friend tell me they make sure you shower, and if your swimsuit's not wet, like, they want you to shower nude, put on your swimsuit and get in the Blue Lagoon. So I'm just putting that out there. That's what I've heard. And then we've got our time there. 12:30 is our lunch for the people who chose that. And if you've done the premium package, which we have, they let you wear your robe to the lunch, which I think would be really fun. You just go in your robe and have this fine dining experience. And then for those who have chosen, there's the massages scheduled, and there's a 2:15 and a 4:15 shuttle back, I believe. So if people are done, they didn't do the lunch or they're not doing the massages, they can take the earlier one back. And if not, 4:15 is about when we'd be going back. G Adventure Style is that first night. I don't know exactly what time, but I told them not before 6:30. The guide will get in touch with me at the hotel. They have a meeting. I mean, typically you've joined a group and you don't know who your other travel mates are. Ours is only us, but that's our chance to meet the guide. He'll tell us more about the trip. And then from that point on, it's all in G Adventure's hand. It's not me. Like, that little Reykjavik part was my extension, but he'll tell us every day what to expect the next day. Or she, I actually said, if there's a female guide, we're Wanderlust women. give me a woman. But they will tell us each day what to expect the next day, what time we're meeting, how long things take, that kind of thing. They're good about that. So let's see. That is pretty much what I wanted to say about all of that. Any questions?
Yes, Kelly, tell me again the name of the app for the money converter. Maybe you want to put it in chat so I can.
Yeah, it's OANDA. Because I'm both on my phone and my computer. I'm having trouble finding the chat at the moment. Actually, I think because I got through most everything, you can avoid being on the second Zoom. Lauren, your boarding pass question, you can do it in advance. You can just go on because you all have an individual record locator. So you can go on the website or app and just put your record in like you would normally and generate a boarding pass. Sometimes mine is just in my file with United because I travel a lot. Sometimes if you can upload your passport and then actually generate the boarding pass. Sometimes they make you show the passport at the airport. I can't say for sure, but you can check in for sure on the app or the website yourself.
But you can check in ahead of time, right? And get your boarding pass on your phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
It's always a good idea to put your passport in ahead of time anyway. Less hoops to jump through at the airport, even if you have to show it too.
You guys are all still here? Mine said it was over. Okay. You can hear me?
This is less than a minute.
Okay, got it. Yeah, you should be able to generate your own boarding passes because everybody has their own record, not tied to everybody else. The only thing it doesn't let you do is like change the seats, but I spent a lot of time trying to make sure everybody had a decent seat, was near the person they're traveling with. Luckily, we all got Economy Plus, and so hopefully that's all good. Any other questions? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in person, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great trip. There is an app that I will look up